What's up, everyone? Champions back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC Fight Night Vegas. Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. I'm very excited for this card. It's a banger. There's a lot of good fights on it. Can't wait to get into it as well. But first, we go into what happened last week. What happened? How did I do in picks? How did I do in bets, etc. And it broke even. I broke even. I'm not mad at it because I have like Elikana bet with some other stuff, and Elikana was all that really mattered for me. But everything else just went really bad, and I did really bad pick wise, so I can live with breaking even. Honestly, I said in my video, like, as long as Billy Elikana wins, I don't care about anything else. I'm gonna go through this quickly because I had to restart making this video, sadly. So we'll just go through these pretty quickly. Ariane Carnelosi to lead Alencar. I love Carnelosi. It makes me so sad because I really loved how she was fighting Alencar. The longer the fight went, and then in round 2, she gets hit with a big knee and then goes down, and just not the same from there. Sad, but it is what it is. Yeah. And then Cedric Dumas, Dante Johnson. I'm not mad at this bet. He didn't Dante Johnson didn't really finish him right away, and honestly, Dumas was having some success early on, which I can appreciate. Didn't like him getting choked as he did in round 2, but it is what it is. Isaac Delgarian, Yadir Delval. Oh, no, I skipped one. Billy Alicana, Kevin Christian. I will say, when the fight was happening, I was getting a little worried because, it's Kevin Christian's kind of kicking him a bunch of times. But Alicana finds a way to land a big shot on to what's his name? Kevin Christian, puts him down, finishes him. Kevin Christian's never gone the distance. Yeah, good work from Alicana. Then Isaac Delgarian, Yadir Deval. I don't know what that's betting situation about the rigging and stuff like that. I think some people are getting a little overboard with the rigging stuff and saying oh, this is a fixed fight. Obviously. I don't know, but it did seem fishy. I won't lie. Delgarian looked very bad. I can live with myself saying I didn't bet too much on this one, because I know a lot of people will lost a bunch on Delgarian and probably just unhappy with themselves because of that, or not unhappy with themselves, unhappy with Delgarian, or whatever. I don't know if he was super injured or not. So it is what it is. Then I had a bet on David Onama. I thought he looked terrible against Steve Garcia. I think that's credit to Steve Garcia. I thought Garcia was mixing up very well from at the body on Onama. No, I'm just not really take it too much. So, credit to Garcia. He looked good. I cannot I cannot predict Garcia to win a fight. It seems. Let's get into the other fights on that card real quickly. I did pretty bad on picks wise. Here it is. 6 of 13, not the best. Go through these real quick. Toe looked really good against Phil Rowe. Phil Rowe couldn't keep this fight on the feet at all. Alex Hardelin had Canelo completely covered. Canelo could really just do nothing. Norman Dumont beats Ketlin Vieira. I thought this was a robbery. I thought Ketlin Vieira did enough in round 2 on the ground to get a decision. I don't think it was like Jelton versus Volkov at all. I thought Ketlin deserved the victory here. Timmy Kwamba, Django Lee. If there's one I'm gonna look back on and be like, damn, I should have put the money on this, it's this one. Kwamba looked really good, especially after round 1 when Django Lee was wrestling him and got the back. But besides that, Kwamba defended very well. He did good. Talk about that one. Nascimento, Cody Durden. Nascimento hurt Durden in round 2, although Durden was doing really well early on in the fight. Nascimento did what he needed to do to get this job done with the sub after hitting him with a big elbow. Radke Frunze. I went with Frunze because I thought Radke be dumb enough to only stand with Frunze. He had a brain. He wrestled. He looked like a big favorite. Shout out to Radke. I'm happy I didn't bet against it. Wells versus Garimbo. Very happy I said just stay away. Very right about that. I thought Garimbo's looking great, and then he falls off a cliff, and Wells. I think Wells is washed, to be honest. I don't think this tells me anything good about Wells. I kind of want to fade him in the future. Wells is just not it now, I think. So yeah. And Waldo Cortez Acosta beats Ante DeLija. Weird situation again. Ante gets a finish, and then Mark Smith says, "Wait, hold on, I didn't wave it off." And then Waldo gets a stool, which only happens between rounds. It was weird. He got a stool when the fight was not stopped, apparently, for the eye. And then Waldo goes in, comes back, and then Ante DeLija gets KO'd. I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this. I'm just happy I didn't put any money on this one. Yeah, that's that. Let's get into Bonfim versus Brown. Make picks for this card. Jackson McVeigh versus Zach Reese. Reese is not minus 500. No way. And the line has moved down. He's like minus 300 now, which is a lot more reasonable. I'm gonna go with Reese round 1 KO, but man, completely stay away. I don't know. Maybe like fight ends by sub is an interesting look because I think Reese could sub him, and maybe the short notice aspect of Reese coming in will lead McVeigh to maybe be able to sub Reese late. But I mean, I don't know. I just maybe overs or something like that is an all right look, because if this fight goes over a round, who knows how long it's gonna be? They could just be there laying on one another at that point. Again though, no thanks. I'm not touching anything on this fight. Miles Johns, Daniel Marcos. Yeah, if you know me, I can't stand Daniel Marcos. I'm gonna go Miles Johns decision. This fight probably goes decision at a pretty high clip, and it's probably gonna end pretty close. In fact, I'm curious, what is the spread on this? Like this price on the spread? Minus 180. Yeah, I mean they know. But yeah, I think Miles Johns is gonna be able to do. Like, I think he's gonna win round 3. Marcos on short notice. And I think with Trey Ogden being in the corner, they always come up with good game plans for him. I was impressed by him fighting really close with Matsumoto. I know Matsumoto was not necessarily the same fighter as Marcos, and Matsumoto's a lot more hittable. But I do think the power of Miles Johns. I think Miles Johns has enough power to make Daniel Marcos be the low volume guy he can be. So I'm going to go with Miles Johns. I think he's got a shot to win this fight. Tisha Pennington, Denise Gomes. I'm going to go with Pennington, but it's not something I'm super ultra confident in. I'm going to say in the Miles Johns, Daniel Marcos fight, if I'm going to have something to bet on it, it's going to be very small. I'm Johns. And the same thing here with Tisha Pennington, Denise Gomes. I'm not going to have much on Tisha. I was losing my hair because I had a bet on Tisha against Pinheiro, and she pulled it off. I did think she won, but it was really close, and it was like there's some really bad looks she was giving in that fight. And it worries me about her being like washed, but I mean, man, Gomes is like, she's boneheaded. It's like she can make some really dumb decisions, and that can bite her in the butt here. I honestly do think so. Tisha always fights close. One thing you know about Tisha, she always fights close. So I think at the line, it's kind of like it's Tisha or pass. I think Pennington can creak out a decision. What else do I want to say? I think the speed will be too much. Even an older Tisha, I think, will still be able to have the speed necessary. And she's got a good chin too. So I mean, she's never been knocked down. Tiny tornado for a reason. I think she's gonna give Denise Gomes some problems. Yeah, but it's not something I'm super passionate about. I know Denise Gomes is a much younger fighter, and it's like a truck, but I don't think it always matters. And I think she's kind of being overrated, honestly. Won't surprise me if she wins though, but I'm going to ride with Tisha. I've always loved me some Tisha. Josh Hokett versus Max Jimenez. I have a lot to say about this one. Give me Hokett round 2 KO. I am 10 toes down on this one. I love Hokett in this spot. I have dug in the depths to find some tape on Max Jimenez, and there's 3 fights I was able to find. And you can find each of them on his Instagram if you look through some of his stuff. Not some of his stuff. You have to scroll down, but you'll find some stuff of his last 3 fights. This one with Diego Piclat, who, by the way, I mean, actually, let me just go into this. Let's get into this, actually. Max Jimenez. This guy, who turned out to be where was it? who weighed 217 pounds for this fight. 7-8. Who's now like 7-9. Okay, wonderful. John Ott, who I mean stood no resistance, 9-10. Just both these guys, Diego and John, just get taken down and just nothing. Just get grounded, pounded pretty quickly. This guy, Cameron Graham, the Big Mac, 9-20 record, goes to decision with this guy, and he's pretty dominant. Although I will say, like, there are moments where it's like on the feet, his striking is bad. It's bad, super slow, nothing. He's nothing on the feet. So I'm not worried about Hogan on the feet in this fight at all. And it's not like Cameron Graham doesn't get finished. He does get finished. He gets finished a lot, actually. It's kind of a miracle he didn't finish him. And he had a lot of really good positions, which is kind of ridiculous. And like in MMA, like this guy just takes. Like I'm not even impressed by his wrestling or anything like that. I know he's like a credentialed grappler, but how well do they do in MMA? Not really that great. And Josh Hogan on the other hand, not like he's fought anyone really that great either, but it's better than anyone Max Jimenez has fought, in my opinion. And the wrestling should override everything. I think the wrestling is going to get Jimenez tired, because Jimenez in his fights is always the one on top. If he's not on top, I don't know what it's going to look like. I think he's going to gas as a result. I know he's a grappler, so maybe he's okay with these positions, which is why I went round 2 KO. But I think Josh Hogan is being brought here to have a great performance. I know the UFC likes him. I know people don't like this guy, and I kind of understand why. But like, the UFC wants this guy to win here. They want to get this guy a win. I think he's a justified favorite. I got an early line on this on -300. I think it's honestly still value now. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say pull out the whole thing to like bet on Hogan, but I think he's just fine. He'll be completely just fine here. I think the -3.5 is an all right look on him, because I don't see Jimenez winning a single round here. He's gonna get top timed. Josh Hogan all day. I think he's gonna rinse Max Jimenez on everywhere. And listening to Josh Hogan interviews, he's saying like he's not gonna go away with him just wrestling. And honestly, I think he's the better striker, which kind of says a lot, because this guy's striking is not really that great. Yeah, don't have to like Josh Hogan, but he's gonna win this fight. I'm pretty confident in that. Pretty damn confident. And that's the guy I had bet with Elicana. So if you were curious, one of the guys. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I can't stand picking this fight. I'm gonna go Cavalcanti. I think she's good enough to keep the fight at distance and just move around from MBS, not be able to do much. But from a betting perspective, the only side you can bet is MBS. I think MBS has a legit shot of winning this fight. She probably has all the finishing upside. And I'm going to say this about Jacqueline Cavalcanti. How she fights is very thin margins, and it's going to come back to bite her bad sooner rather than later. And it could even be here, because she always loves backing up, and like it gives people a good thinking like the other fighters having good luck, even though she's clearly winning. I can't trust it. I cannot trust it. MBS is the only side you can bet. I'm like considering it, but honestly, I can't stand MBS to the point where I can't do it. But honestly, the finish only on MBS is probably an all right look. If I'm being honest, she's pretty tough. And what is the line on that? Like, finish only -145. I don't hate that at all. I honestly do not hate that at all. I think it's a fine line to play. So MBS finish only, like voids if it goes decision. That's a fine way to play this fight. Yeah. Ricky Simon versus Ione Barcelos. I think Simon's gonna win here. Do I go decision or I'm gonna go KO? I think Barcelos is kind of washed still. I kind of do. Getting top 10 by Quinones was scary. Not a great look, in my opinion, even though he ended up winning that. And I think Quinones is terrible. I thought Quinones was going to get smoked by Yanez in this card. Yanez. But alas, not meant to be. That's not alive anymore. I know he beat Payne Talbot, but I think that said more about Talbot than Barcelos. And Garbrandt, I mean, Garbrandt has kind of finished himself. So I think Simone has something left in the tank. I think he's just not washed. Like, I think he's an all right bet, honestly, at this line. I think you're fine with betting him, and go with it. So I think Simone is able to get the job done and beat Ioni Barcelos. This is one of the bets I like on the card. Jamal Emmers versus Hyder Emil. I'm gonna go Hyder Emil round 2 KO. Usually his KOs are round 2, so if you're gonna bet his KO for any round, it's probably gonna be round 2. But I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't be surprised if Jamal Emmers makes this look easy. So I'm not even interested in betting this. This is a pass fight. Hyder Emil, fun as hell to watch, but the bet on, I mean, you do want to bet on him as an underdog, not necessarily an underdog right now. So I get why he's a favorite, because Jamal Emmers, I mean, for him to win, he has to have fight IQ. He's got to be durable. He's neither of those. He doesn't have either of those. So it's troublesome, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wrestles Hyder Emil. It's absolutely allowed to happen here. But I think Hyder Emil is going to be able to push the pace, get the pressure needed to beat Emmers. But yeah, nothing for me. Marco Tulio versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Banger fight. IMO should be the main event. This is the fight I'm most excited about. Give me Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm going to go round 1 KO. I'm going round 1 KO a bunch today. I think Marco Tulio is going to run into something. I think he's going to run into like a spinning elbow. I mean, that's always what I think about CLD fight. The opponent runs into a spinning elbow. Tulio just does not move his head. His head is just there. Boom, 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 boom. The Gore fight wasn't a great look, in my opinion. Gore's all right. Not that I'm taking away from Gore, but like every time he hit Tulio, it kind of wobbled him, and it was like 10 strikes. With CLD, I think he's making improvements, being at like I think Team Renegade or whatever. It's the one with Leon Edwards in it. I think he's gonna make improvements there and get better his whole game. I think he's paid his dues. His range management is so good. I love his range management. Also, I love his clinch work. I think his clinch work is very good. I think if Tulio tries going for takedowns, Christian Leroy Duncan's first level takedown defense will be able to do good work and be able to get underhooks and be able to have a fight in the clinch. And I think CLD absolutely has a chance to win that kind of fight. I know this is on a short, in a smaller cage, which kind of favors Tulio's style, since he goes balls to the wall. But I think he's gonna run into something, man. CLD is so clean, and his distance management is disgusting. He's so good, and I do think on the feet, the better striker is CLD. And I think he's gonna catch Marco Tulio. I have CLD bet. I like him here. I think he's my favorite underdog on the card. I'll say that. So, yeah, I think Duncan's very live to win, and I know people are going to look at like the Gregory Rodriguez fight, like, oh, that's how he didn't handle pressure so well. Remember, short notice replacement, going from Robert Burchek to Gregory Rodriguez. Huge step up on short notice. I mean, he had full notice. RoboCop was the one on short notice, but I'm talking about a change in matchup, but it was a big change in matchup. In RoboCop, I think he's just a much better grappler than Marco Tulio. I honestly, if you look at Tulio's wins, they're not that great. Like, okay, Yusri Belgari, when he's as a lot less experienced, not with Poatan and team. Okay, whatever, to me. The Ihor Pateria, when whatever, he missed weight too, Ihor. Then Tresean Gore, like, this is a big step up for Tulio, in my opinion. I do think Tulio's really good, don't get me wrong. I think he's deserving of a step up, but CLD is disgusting. I think this guy is special. I love me some CLD here. Ismael Bonfim versus Chris Padilla. This is a fight of I don't want to touch anything with it. I'm gonna go Bonfim decision. I think he's the better fighter. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just quits, because this guy's a kind of a quitter. I think as shown from like the BSD fight as well as the Nazim Sadikov fight, which honestly I think he might have been fine against Nazim. I was on Nazim. Shout out Nazim. But I mean, he got smoked. Just like, nope, no thanks, no thanks. I'm worried maybe Padilla lands his signature elbow in the wrong zone, and the same thing happens here. No thanks, no thanks. No, I want no part of it. I wouldn't be surprised if Padilla wins, but I think Bonfim ends up winning a decision. Just being just a cleaner, better fighter. Muslim Salikov versus Uros Medic. I hate the betting line on this fight. I love Uros Medic here. I think he's going to knock out Muslim Salikov. I think this Muslim Salikov run is just a lot of crazy, stupid outcomes that shouldn't be happening that are happening. The Liao, I mean, don't get me wrong, Liao KO was great. Kenan Song KO was great, but I mean, I don't even think he won this fight against Ponzinibbio, and I thought he looked terrible in that fight. I thought he looked pretty terrible that fight. Ponzi did too. I think Uros is gonna be too fast, and he's gonna just put on Muslim, and I don't think Muslim's chin's gonna be able to take it anymore. But I can't bet this line. I can't do it. Not the money line, at least. Please, people, keep betting Muslim Salikov more and more and more. I'm probably gonna find a way to play Uros because there's no way I'm missing this fade, but it's disgusting. I don't feel good. I'm betting like minus money on this at all. So I wouldn't suggest anyone do it, but I'll probably find a way to play it, and it'll probably be like some parlay or something like that. Some small parlay. So there's no way I can live myself if I bet too much on this. But I'm not living myself if I miss this fade. Yeah, I think Salikov's getting knocked out. Matt Schnell versus Joseph Morales. I'm gonna go Morales round 2 sub. I think it's Schnell's retirement fight apparently. I think Bopo is going to be able to grapple Schnell and be able to do work there. I think he's just a much better grappler, honestly. I mean, on the feet, I think Schnell could probably compete, but I guess I lean Morales because I think he's a pretty clean overall fighter. He's pretty good, but I mean, Schnell's not a bad fighter himself, but I do think in the grappling realm, the jiu-jitsu realm, it's just kind of it's all Morales. So I think he gets a sub here. I think the -3.5 for him is a pretty good look, to be honest, because if he's gonna win, I think it's gonna be either pretty dominant or it's gonna be like a finish, probably a finish, because Schnell just goes out there to die. So yeah, I like Morales. I think he can go ahead and get the finish. Gabriel Bonfim versus Randy Brown. Pretty sick main event. I'm actually very excited for it. I'm gonna go Randy Brown by decision. I think this fight goes long, which is projected to go long. Like the over is 2.5 is -135. I think if it goes over that point, it's kind of leaning towards Brown. And I do think it goes over that point. I think this is the better Bonfim brother, if you ask me. He has fine boxing, but I think the size advantage for Randy Brown is going to give him a lot of problems there. So I think he's going to have to grapple Bonfim to try and get the win here, and I think Randy Brown can keep himself safe. And I think that jab is going to be working for Randy Brown all night is what I think. I'm going to have a small bet on Brown. I'm not going to do anything crazy with it. But I think Randy Brown can absolutely tune up on Bonfim. So give me Randy Brown. I think he's going to be able to outwork Gabriel Bonfim on the feet, maybe make him tired as the fight goes on. I like the 5-round aspect for Brown. I think I can trust his cardio here, and it's a big opportunity for Randy Brown. It's time for him to show up. So I think he's able to do it. Not super duper passionate. I won't be surprised if Gabriel Bonfim is able to get like a sub on Brown, but otherwise, I think Brown's like a really good fighter, and I think it's his time. Now let's go real quick through each fight. More 6 strikes, more takedowns, and give you my predictions for each of those. Reese, McVeigh. I'll go McVeigh more takedowns because I think Reese can hold guard. I won't be shocked if he does. More 6 strikes, but like that, I'm not confident about that. And I guess more 6 strikes, Zach Reese. But again, I want nothing to do with this. Miles Johns, Daniel Marcos. I think I lean Miles Johnson to get more takedowns, but more 6 strikes is kind of, I don't know, because I think it could be a pretty low volume fight. Tisha Pennington, Denise Gomes. Tisha probably more 6 strikes. I don't really think Denise is going to be landing all too many with the speed of Tisha. More takedowns, I don't know. I guess Denise, but I mean, I think either can go for takedowns here, but at the same time, I kind of think it's going to be a stand-up fight. Complete pass on the takedowns for me. More 6 strikes, more takedowns. Josh Hokett, both of those easy. Nothing else. Mayra Bueno Silva, Jacqueline Cavalcanti, more takedowns. Bueno Silva, she's the only one that's going to be going for any. I'd be shocked if Cavalcanti goes for any. She'd be dumb too. 6 strikes, Cavalcanti, much cleaner striker. Yeah. Ricky Simone, Raoni Barcelos. This is an interesting one. I'd go. I think more takedowns, Ricky Simone. I think he's just a way more physical guy, and I think that's going to play a factor here. And then more 6 strikes. I can see this go either way. Pass for me. I wouldn't hate like an underdog line on either one of these guys for that one. But yeah. Hyder Emil, Jamal Emmers. I mean, it depends on the type of fight we get. I guess make more takedowns, definitely Jamal Emmers. I'd be shocked if Hyder goes for any. That's not really his type of fighting style. More 6 strikes, Hyder Emil. That's his thing. Throw. Throw a bunch of punches. Marco Tulio, CLD. If the fight goes how I think it will, CLD more 6 strikes. That's what I think. Although even if Marco Tulio is more volume guy usually, I think it's going to be CLD more 6 strikes. But I'm not even that crazy about that unless it's like a pretty big number 6 strike wise. More takedowns probably Tulio. I'd be shocked if CLD really goes for too many here. But I mean maybe. But I would lean Tulio for more takedowns. Chris Padilla, Ismail Bonfim. I lean Bonfim for both of those. But it's not something super passionate about. Uros Medic, Muslim Salikov. I think Uros Medic more 6 strikes. I think it's gonna be too quick to the punch and just KO Muslim. More takedowns, I guess Salikov. I don't think Uros is gonna be going for no takedowns at all. So yeah. Joseph Morales, Matt Schnell. More takedowns, Morales. I think he's gonna be the one going for takedowns, and I guess more 6 strikes can go either way. I don't think Schnell's a bad bet for that one, honestly. That might be an interesting look. But that can go either way too. And then Bonfim, Randy Brown. Randy Brown more 6 strikes. I like that a lot. More takedowns. It's got to be Bonfim. I don't think Brown's gonna be going for any takedowns at all. So there you go. Those are my predictions for this card. Very excited for it. But as always, man, next week pay-per-view time. Very excited for that card. A lot of bangers, a lot of stuff I like on that card. We will be getting into that next week. Very excited to talk about it. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace. Have a great one. And you can check me out at Champ Bets at BetMMA.tips, and as well as my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great one. Bye.